Am I the a-hole for ignoring my estranged mom even though she's trying to rebuild our relationship? This is probably going to be long, but I really need advice because I'm feeling torn. I, 17M, have had a very complicated, painful relationship with my mom, 39F, for most of my life, and especially over the last 5 years. When I was younger, life in our house was chaotic, to put it mildly. My parents fought constantly. I'm not talking about the occasional argument, I mean screaming matches that shook the walls. There was never any peace, and there was always tension in the air. I knew even then that both of them were struggling. They both had serious addictions to drugs, to alcohol, and although my dad definitely played his part in the chaos, my mom was just as much a part of the problem. When I was around 12, everything came crashing down. My mom packed a bag and left. She said she needed time to find herself and couldn't do it anymore. Just like that, she walked out. No plan, no discussion, just gone. She left me, my then 7-year-old brother, and our infant sibling alone with my dad, whose own addiction spiraled even further without her there. I still remember how surreal those days felt. We were basically raising ourselves. There were weeks when we lived off canned food, and I'd help my brother with his homework while my dad was passed out in the other room. After a while, my mom started randomly showing up again. She'd drop by to help cook a meal or change a diaper, then disappear for days or weeks without explanation. It was confusing and upsetting, especially for my youngest brother, who was still a baby and didn't even really understand who she was. For me, every time she left again, it felt like a wound being ripped open all over again. Eventually, after one of her visits, she brought us to our maternal grandparents' house and asked them to take us in. Thankfully, they did. They stepped up in every way imaginable. They gave us food, structure, safety. They enrolled us in school, helped us heal, and slowly gave us a sense of stability we hadn't felt in years. That arrangement was supposed to be temporary, but then my mom disappeared again for a long time. I later found out my grandparents had offered her a place to stay so she could be close to us, but she refused. She wanted to do things on her own, even if it meant being far away from her children. And she stayed gone. Eventually, my grandparents won full custody of me and my brothers. My parents were given visitation rights. At the time, I was still extremely angry with both of them. But when my dad started getting sober and showed consistent effort to reconnect, I gave him another chance. He apologized. He showed up when he said he would. He didn't pretend the past hadn't happened, he owned it. And that meant something to me. These days, I spend time with him regularly, and we've repaired a lot of what was broken between us. It's not perfect, but it's real. My relationship with my mom, though, it's another story entirely. She didn't really start fighting for us until after the custody was finalized. Suddenly, she wanted us to live with her again. But she had no home, no job, no plan. And when my grandparents refused to hand us over, she accused them of stealing us, turning us against her, manipulating us. She became bitter and aggressive, even toward me. I tried to reason with her. I wanted to believe she just missed us and didn't know how to express it. But every conversation turned into her ranting about how unfairly she was treated. She'd make wild promises about gifts, vacations, days out, and never follow through. She'd say she was coming to visit, and then ghost. Over time, I realized it wasn't about us, it was about her guilt, her pride, her need to rewrite the story to make herself the victim. She told me once, when I tried to explain how I felt, that I was just a kid and didn't understand what my grandparents had really done to her, that I was too young to know the truth. And that broke something in me. Because no, maybe I didn't know every detail, but I knew how I felt. And I knew that being stood up over and over, lied to, abandoned, and then gaslit about it was not the kind of love I needed. I started to pull back. I stopped visiting. I stopped responding. I stopped caring. Fast forward to now. She's living several hours away, engaged to someone new, and expecting another baby. She texts me every few weeks. Sometimes she calls. She tells me she's sober now, that she's doing better, that she's trying. She tells me she loves me, that she wants to fix things, that she misses me. And you know what? Part of me believes her. But another part of me just can't go there. Not again. I don't hate her. I do love her somewhere deep down. But the damage she caused isn't something an "I'm better now" text can undo. I was a child when she left. I became the big brother and the parent when she and my dad failed us. I'm the one who held my brother's hand while he cried because he didn't understand why mommy was gone again. I'm the one who felt abandoned again and again while she tried to find herself. Now she wants a relationship, and I'm the one putting up walls. I know she's trying, and I do respect the effort, but I can't bring myself to forgive her yet. Not when every text from her still brings back years of broken promises. So now I'm stuck wondering, AITA for still ignoring my mom, even though she's trying now? Even though she's sober and reaching out? Even though she's technically doing all the right things just years too late?